Does anyone else feel that the TROC Transcontinental Race of Champions series like Ice, Carbon, Carnival, Silver, Neon, that they were way better than the XRS series that we got for the current Cars 3 Piston Cup racers? I mean, yeah, the mud racers, the suspension kind of cool. Oh, we got moving flames on the rocket racers, moving pistons on the drag racers, but they just didn't have that it factor that the previous TROC series had. I think a part of that had to do with the chance that they were never going to finish any of the XRS series because they dabbled in Cars 3 stock cars and next gens. So that's like a total of 72 racers. Yeah, they're not doing all of those, even though they did do a lot of mud racers, for example. But when you only have like 11, 12 or so to do for the World Grand Prix, it's much easier to complete and it just feels more whole. It feels like, okay, this is a competition. Like they're now moving on to the carbon race. I can get them all. It just feels, more familiar and that you can get more engaged with it. Like I remember being so enthused about carbon and carnival racers. Now, granted, they didn't finish silver by, one car. They didn't finish neon by a lot. But they did finish carbon. They did finish ice. And they finished carnival as well. Even though you could argue that they didn't do frosty or whatever. And, some of them, there was Vitaly Petrov for ice, blah, 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 blah. But generally, the last three, they did a great job with. And it really makes me yearn for more series like that. There was actually a rally car TROC race that appeared in a European magazine. Those magazines that they only release in Europe for some reason. One of them had a story about a rally race, I think hosted by like Max Schnell or Raul Cerul, and they all had really cool paint jobs there as well. So yeah, I know a lot of stuff going on there, but today we have yet another custom from Cars Fast as Lightning. This is Carnaval Carla Veloso, not to be confused with the Carnival racer Carla Veloso from 2016. This is a completely different animal from the mobile game that unfortunately is no longer. Yeah, the developers, whatever, they shut it down. Very, very sad, but its legacy carries on to this day through all of the paint jobs that it gave us. And yeah, they're pretty awesome. And obviously we're going to review this one by Shane Cooper, who has done all of the other video game customs that I have reviewed lately and going back to last year, such as Hot Rod Francesco Bernoulli. I'll leave the link for this guy in the description below and card session pop-up. Granted, he is from the Cars 2 video game. I don't think, actually, was there? Yeah, I think Francesco was in Fast as Lightning. It's weird because not everybody was in Fast as Lightning, nor was everybody in Cars 2 the video game. So the inconsistency always messes with me. But we're just going to dive right on in because I can't just contain myself staring at this beauty. So the decals are relatively the same when compared to a normal Carla Veloso, but the colors are what the draw is here. Instead of the green and blue, it's a kind of burgundy and sky blue going on here with some purple mixed in as well. Just a beautiful, beautiful car all around. I should probably put the image of it from the video game on the screen there. There you have it. Again, one of the unlockable characters Carla Veloso was, and then this was an unlockable paint job, which really kind of was frustrating because, again, as I always say, the amount of gems needed to unlock these things were exorbitant. All right, let's dive right in now for realsies. I like the little squares that she has on her bumper. We'll see more of those, but it adds a nice little texture, even though they aren't like raised off the paint or anything, but it's like a little salt to it, it looks good, spruces it up. This is a Thailand Carla Veloso that Shane Cooper used, and I have to give him a huge shout out for painting the base. Who does that as a customizer? Well, freaking Shane Cooper does, and it looks great. And it makes sense because otherwise it would have been blue, which wouldn't have looked bad if it was blue like this, because you could see that the bumper there is blue. Now, this is the Chinese version, granted again, so it's a little bit different mechanics, but to paint it the burgundy color just makes it look great. Like everything really flows together super nicely. All the colors match. Now, the kind of background that Carla Veloso has here, kind of like a matrix grid style background, and then all the decals are on top of that. That is absent here. You have, bits and pieces of that like we touched on, but it's a pretty flat background just with the gradient, going here and there, which just, oh my God, it looks fantastic. I don't even know how he was able to make the gradient so smooth, the transition there. Oh God. Might not be able to control myself during this review. You got the dark purple floral design on the fenders there. Kind of an inverted design of that there in the center. Very similar again to the normal Carla Veloso decals. Now he had to create all these from scratch though, because again, they aren't just readily available on Google Images. Copy and paste. No. The All in All and World Grand Prix logos might be, but that's because they, are way more prominent. So yeah, this is just like kind of an alternative paint job for Cars 2 version. Unlike, when we get to Midnight Shoot to the Roki. That guy, he doesn't have any all in all mentions on him at all. But she still has the World Grand Prix tax number 8, obviously still the Brazilian flag, just in purple and burgundy. You got more of the cubes. Look like sugar cubes. So just take a second to absorb how beautiful this racer is. The fact that the rims didn't have to be painted is really awesome as well. That was convenient. Got more cubes back there. Oh my gosh. Just looks so wild and exotic too, which is what I'm going for these days. The back looks great. That color is just pristine. Pristine, I say. There you have the spoiler, which is the exact same. Nothing was touched on the spoiler. Oh my God, I can't go over that the base was painted. It just looks so good. Carla, you are sexy. Oh my gosh, this is way better than the green blue. Now, obviously, I understand why it was green blue to, represent Brazil, her native country, but this is just a great color combo. It looks great on her, and to see Carla in kind of a new light just breathes new life into the character that is now like 12 years old, which is insane. The fact that Cars 2 came out 12 years ago. But yeah, this is not the end of World Grand Prix alternative paint jobs. Of course, we had Francesco, and now we have Carla. And I mentioned Shu, and yeah, there might even be another one that you could spot in the background there. I'm very excited to get into them. You guys let me know in the comment section below, what is your favorite version of Carla Veloso? Yeah, I mean, it's no messing around. This one for me is Carnaval with an A, not an I. But the carbon version of her is really good. I don't think the Carnival version is one of the best, but also not bad. Ice, good. Silver, yeah. Neon, they never made. And I also wanted to say, what did I want to say? Yeah, none of the T-Rock versions of Carla like really blow me out of the water. I think maybe the Ice is her best. But there are some other characters like, Rip Klitschkonski, Jeff Corvette, Nigel Gearsley, where their T-Rock versions like really impress me. Like I know I love the T-Rock Jeff, or no, the Ice Jeff and Nigel. I love the Carbon Rip. So just like that, unfortunately Carla doesn't really have that. But I think the reason for that is that they never changed her expression, and unfortunately she has like this really small cabin here, so there isn't much room to change it. It always has stayed relatively the same, a couple changes here and there, and the eyelid and all that, but there's not much personality going on there. Whereas if you look at Ice Racer Jeff and Nigel, oh my God, just look at those expressions. They're incredible. And also they never changed her spoiler, which they did for a lot of the Carbon racers. I think it would have been beneficial for them to do that. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Thanks to Shane Cooper for making this damn good custom. I will see you soon for another video. Bye now.